I'm here with music producer, radio personality, and good friend, Ruben Silverio. Ruben, of
Hey, Gino, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
course, I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah, how long's it been now?
Probably a year. Probably about a year.
Jesus, really? Yeah, I guess it has
Yeah.
been that long.
Yeah, the last time I saw you, I think I was with Nick, who was on the show last time, and we called you up and you didn't answer. So we got in
Mm-hmm.
our car and I drove to your house and I knocked on the door and your parents answered the door. I said, "Hey, I'm looking for Ruben." They said, "Ruben." They called upstairs. You came downstairs, sunburnt, shirtless, and just jaw on the floor. You looked at me like I ran over your dog.
Right,
What are you doing here? and then you went back upstairs, presumably to get dressed. And me and Nick hung out with your parents for like 15 minutes.
right, right. I remember that day. That was for context for the viewers. Gino and I are in a group chat of a group of friends, and 30 minutes prior to Gino showing up at my house, he texts in the group chat, "Does anybody want to hang out today? Does anybody have plans? You guys want to hang out? Whatever." And about 25 minutes after he sent the message in the group chat, I saw it, opened my phone, and read it. And as I am literally responding to the message in the group chat of if anybody wants to hang out, he proceeds to call me, like in the middle of me responding, and he calls me, and it's terrible service. He's calling me in a terrible area, and it's breaking up, and I hear Nick screaming in the background, and I presumed it was the car
That's
because it
Nick.
sounded like you guys were driving. Right, that is Nick. And he was screaming in the back, and I'm trying to go like, "Hello, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Call fails because I lost service. Approximately 2 minutes after that, they proceed to show up at my house. My doorbell rings. I walk downstairs after my parents call me from downstairs, and I go downstairs in my boxers, sunburnt because it was in the summer. I was working a summer job, um, and I just see Nick and Gino show up at my house, and I proceed to go upstairs and get dressed as they're downstairs kicking it with my parents and just having a blast.
No, it was a
That was
blast, but
fun.
I haven't seen you since because you go to Uconn, and I'm pretty far from Uconn. I haven't made the trip.
You
I
should make
should.
the trip. You
Yeah,
should.
I
Definitely
will.
should.
But yeah, I haven't seen you been at Uconn. You guys are the Huskies at Uconn, right?
We are the Huskies.
The Huskies.
Yes.
Are you a domestic husky or a wild husky?
I would label us as a domestic husky. Me specifically, a domestic
You
husky.
specifically.
Me
But
specifically.
so if the Huskies went against, say, the Wolves, you'd be slaughtered.
Entirely. Yes.
Right. But on the other hand, if you guys went against a school whose mascot was the Weenie Dog, you might
Right.
you might do pretty well.
Oh, we would destroy the weenie dogs. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
We're
it
we're
wouldn't.
the
Yeah.
Huskies, as you reiterated before.
Yeah, the Huskies.
Right. But the Wolves, we wouldn't stand a chance.
No, not one. Okay, so at UConn, you're involved in a lot of extracurricular and stuff.
I'm in a lot of clubs and organizations. Yes.
One of the clubs that you're involved in is the concert committee. Am I right?
That's right. That's right.
That sounds, in my opinion, that sounds like one of the coolest things. You guys organize the concerts and stuff at the school, right?
So basically, at the school, there's a bunch of organizations that are divided by tiers.
Yep.
So we have there's 3 tiers. Bottom tier is tier 1. It's like entry clubs. Clubs just started with low attendance, just small clubs and there's like hundreds and hundreds of them. Then there's tier 2, which is a slightly level up that gets some funding for smaller little events around campus, have a little bit more of a gathering, a little bit more of like attendance. And
Okay.
then there's tier 3, which are the largest organizations on campus. They get the most funding. There's only 4 of them on campus.
What tier are you guys?
So the organization I'm in is Subag, and that's a tier 3.
Big league.
Big leagues, that's right. So we get the most funding. Well, not the most, but the 4 tier 3 organizations are the organizations that get the most funding, and they organize the majority, primarily all of the events on campus, most of them. And so there's this organization called Subag, and Subag runs all the events on campus related to like shows, stuff like that. And within Subag, there's like a bunch of different committees. There's about 7 of them, and they all run different events. So there's the comedy committee that runs having comedians come and perform. There's the film committee that runs showing films every weekend and stuff like that. And then there's the sports committee. I'm also part of the sports committee that involves like showing the Super Bowl watch party, for example, at UConn, stuff like that. But the one that I'm most involved in is concert committee, and that committee puts together all the concerts on campus. And
Right.
per semester, fall semester and spring semester, we have one big concert that happens per semester. And fall semester, it's the fall concert. And then spring semester, it's called the UConn Festival. So the road outside the big stadium, they'll be closed down, and it'll have like food trucks, so like a little festival area. And then inside the stadium will be where the concert is for the festival, for the UConn Festival. So
It's
and then
big.
no, it is big. It's very big. And then amidst the semester, outside those 2 big events, those 2 semesters, they'll have other smaller musical events. So it's honestly really cool that I got to be a part of it. And last semester, I was just a committee member. But this coming semester, I applied for a position on the board, and now I have an executive board position. Mm-hmm.
What's the coolest guy, artist you've booked?
Well, so my freshman year, I went to the spring the festival, and our lineup was supposed to, because we had to cancel 2 of them, was Sean Kingston, Summer Walker, and Lil Baby for my freshman
we
year.
had Sean Kingston too.
At Fordham?
At Fordham, yeah, we had Sean Kingston. Well, first we had Soulja Boy, and then he got arrested. So we had to get, and then we had Sean Kingston, and then I think he got like alleged rape accusations or something.
That's right.
Yeah, and everyone was so pissed off because they wanted to see Sean Kingston.
That's funny that you say that, because that was the same reason we had to cancel him. But instead we were upset we couldn't see Sean Kingston, because I listened to him as a kid too. That's a throwback. But most of our university was very, very upset with Subag, the concert committee that ran the event, because of a simple Google search would be able to see Sean Kingston's past. But sadly, it ran through the cracks, and they were very upset.
So you guys were mad at the school for bringing him in?
Yes.
We were the opposite, but my whole school was upset that we had to get rid of him. We just wanted to hear "Beautiful Girl." Nothing else mattered. Yeah. It was totally different.
So aside from that, we had this past fall, we had T-Pain come and perform.
You had T-Pain?
We did have T-Pain. It was a lot of fun. Speaking of throwbacks,
so
T-Pain performed a lot of the good throwbacks. That was he put on a great performance, and by that time, by last fall, I was already a committee member, so I actually got to volunteer for the stage setup for all the tickets and stuff like that. So I got to help with a bunch of other volunteers and the production team that UConn hires to put together the stage. And I got to put together like the platforms, and I got to put up like the screens in the back to put up all the graphics while T-Pain is performing. That was a lot of fun to be a part of something like that. I'd never done anything remotely close to that. So that was really cool.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
and the production team as well were really cool people, because while we're like carrying all this heavy equipment, like all these fancy lights and stuff, like all these people that are a part of the production team were like teaching us like what does this equipment do, like how expensive it is, whatever. It was a really cool learning experience, and I was so intrigued by that. Just being a committee member, I was like, all right, I want to do this for real. I want to be a part of the exec board that runs everything behind
Absolutely.
it. So.
That's fantastic. And now you have a bigger role in it.
That's right.
Did you guys get anything? VIP seating or something?
Well, if you work for the show, depending on how much you volunteer and stuff, you get to have a free ticket. So because I was one of the higher volunteers who helped a lot, as a lot of other people did too, but you get to go and have front row seating if you please, or you get to go backstage and stuff like that. So I got front row seating, which was a lot of fun, and T-Pain was right there. So that was really cool. Really cool.
So on top of the concert committee, you also ran a radio show on campus, right? Before everything went down.
That's right.
And I tuned into your radio show a couple times before, the quarantine. And you guys played a lot of hip hop, rap music, spoke about it. How was that? How was that experience?
It's really, really awesome to run your own radio show, just to be able to be in that environment of a room and like speak to people who are listening to me talk about music is really cool. And I had the idea about a year back, before I started the show, when I had met somebody that was doing a show, and I shadowed them. Basically, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I didn't know we had a radio here on campus. Can I go watch you do it?" She was like, "Sure." So I went and watched, and it was really cool. And I was like, "All right, I want to do this." And then I went and did my training. I got air cleared and everything, which they provide. And then I went with my friend, who is my current co-host, and I asked him if he wanted to be my co-host, because a lot of the conversations in our a lot of our discourse on the topics that we talk about during our radio show is the stuff that we talk about normally just in everyday conversation when we're
Right.
hanging out. So I figured, why not just put it on a radio show? So he was down with it, and we both went and trained, got air cleared, and then we started the show. And then primarily we do revolve around hip hop and rap, because that is like our fortes. It's stuff we most listen to, the
Right.
stuff we
Of
most
course.
talk about. But some shows we do branch out a little bit. We played R&B songs before. We played all that kind of stuff. And usually, for the most part, we'll have themes for our shows. So for some shows, we'll have the best albums in the past decade we thought would come out, our favorite artists in the past 5 years. We'll have different like themes amongst our shows, each different show for each week. And then for how we designed the show and how we structured it, our show was called Double Time Radio, and the
Yeah.
reason for that being was because we wanted to have half the time of our duration of our show be us talking and talking about the music, and half of it playing the music, and it was supposed to be intermittently. So for this past semester, our show was about an hour long. So we would have two songs play, and then after that, we would talk about the two songs that previous played for around the same time that those two songs are playing, and then play another two songs. And then after those two songs play, then talk about those two songs that played, and then just keep going intermittently. So we thought it was a good dynamic to go flip flop back and forth and keep the listeners interested.
Yeah.
So
And I
yeah.
got to tell you, when I was watching it, it was very well done.
Mhm.
And I mean, you sounded really natural. That was your first time on the radio?
Yeah, it actually is, and it's funny that you say that, because I had a lot of friends that I asked to tune in, as well as my parents, and they almost all of them were saying like, "Oh, you sound so natural. Sounds like you've been doing it for years, or like you have such a good radio voice." And I'm thinking like, this is crazy. Like I just started it, but yeah, I'm surprised that I got that much positive feedback from it, and they were being genuine with it. And it is my first time, but now that I've done it, I want to keep doing it more and more, and I hope to get
Yeah,
better at
no,
it. It's a lot of
totally.
fun.
It was very well done. And while I got you here, you brought up that you guys talked about your favorite artists. Who's your top 3 all time favorite
All
artists?
time, all time. This is a tough one. I usually do top 5, but it's hard to think of a top 3.
I'll just lob
Um,
off the bottom 2.
one without a doubt, no question, Kendrick Lamar. No
Kendrick.
question about it. I can debate on that. Number two and 3, I'd have to put Jay-Z, then Kanye. So 1 Kendrick, 2 Jay-Z, 3 Kanye.
Kanye third, rounding it out.
Kanye third, rounding it out. Yep.
Okay, fuck, marry, kill. See, personally, I'd fuck Jay-Z. I mean, if he's good enough for Beyonce, he's damn good enough for me.
Right.
And I'd marry Kanye. I have to.
But you're gonna kill Kendrick?
I don't want to kill Kendrick, but I mean, it really leaves me no other option.
Okay, I understand the logic, but for me personally, I'm gonna marry Jay-Z. I'm gonna
Why?
marry Jay-Z. If I'm thinking in terms of generational wealth, he's the only billionaire, and I mean, for generations to come, we're set. Our family's set. Our children are
Are
set.
you basing this marriage off of money?
Well, given the very limited circumstances you've put me in due to this absurd question, yes,
Mhm.
I have to. Because I don't think I'll find myself finding a romantic connection to either Kendrick or Kanye.
So what you're telling me is that you don't see the real person.
That is not at all what
You
I'm
see the
saying.
big capital B, and that's what you're marrying.
Yes, in this circumstance, yes.
Who else?
But let me continue. So I would fuck Kendrick and I'd kill Kanye.
You'd kill Kanye?
Let me. I do not want to kill anybody on this list. Let me be clear. But I would have to kill Kanye and fuck Kendrick, and here's the reason. Ready?
I'd love to hear it.
Let me explain. So Kendrick is my favorite artist. I've dissected his music to a T. I love his music. There's so many different meanings, double meanings to all his music. There's storylines behind it, but he does very little explaining. He doesn't do any interviews. Doesn't explain what he does behind his music. So for that reason alone, I have a lot of questions that are unanswered. A lot of unanswered questions in regards to his music. So I have a lot of things I'd like to ask him now. After the night we fuck, actually the night we do fuck, and after we have finished our business,
Yeah.
I would enjoy laying down next to him and cuddling, having some great pillow talk, and asking him the questions that I wanted to ask him.
It sounds to me like you should marry Kendrick. You have a lot to talk about.
Well,
He's got
I do
plenty
have a
of
lot to
money.
talk about. I do.
I know that's what you're concerned with.
Well, again, due to the circumstances, yes. But I would like to marry Kendrick, but I feel like I'd love to talk to him for days, for weeks. But I think for the simple fact that my great, 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 great grandchildren can be set through Jay-Z, I think I'll take Jay-Z in that
Who
circumstance.
cares about them?
I do. It's my family line. Why wouldn't I
Don't
care?
know them. Oh God. See, here's why I think you're wrong here. I think.
Let me know.
Well, look, Jay-Z done a lot of good stuff.
Yes.
Older. He's a lot older. I think Kendrick and Kanye got a lot more time.
Jay-Z is older than both Kanye and Kendrick. That's right. But I don't think he's completely, off the beaten path. I don't think he's out of the game. I mean, if you think about it, if Jay-Z or Kanye or Kendrick, anyone on this list, if they drop any music tomorrow, whether it be a single or an album, the whole world will stop and stand still.
Yes,
and listen.
well, obviously, but I think we definitely have a couple more coming from the other two.
I don't know about that.
I'd marry Kanye because the conversations that we'd have, I would never get tired of.
That's actually fair. I can't argue that point. That is true.
Speaking about Kanye,
Mm-hmm.
he's a producer turned rapper.
Right. Correct.
And you produce. You ever gonna make that jump?
I'm afraid not. In terms of right now, I actually have been pressured by some artists I work with and some other people I know to actually make the jump. I mean, when you think about it, I know the theory behind the music already, so I would already have that leg up, and I have access to beats because I mean, I make them. So I guess let's put it this way: if I do make the jump, it would be very feasible for me to, but I don't know if I want to. Stay tuned, but I don't know.
Are you good at it?
Am I good at it?
Could you lay something down?
I could definitely, I could write some writtens for sure. I'm pretty good at writing.
What about like on the spot? If I were to say,
I'm pretty terrible.
Give us a bar right now.
I mean, I'm pretty bad at freestyling.
Could you just give us a little taste?
I can maybe give you a line or two at most.
That's all I want. That's all I want. Just a line or two. Could you?
All right. Would you maybe give me a topic?
How about gold diggers? Like gold digging whores.
Right.
People who are just now.
Right.
This isn't because of Kanye. This is just
because of me.
Who don't see a person for who they are. They just see dollar bills. Just to the top of my head, first thing I was thinking of.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. I can think of something real quick. Maybe a line.
One line.
Gino, you say I'm only in it for the money. You might call me a gold digger, but in reality, I'm thinking of the future. I just want to be richer. That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's damn good. I know you're trying to make a career in this, in production. So what is?
I am.
Well, so what are you majoring in?
Currently, I'm majoring in. I'm majoring in psych and I'm minoring in comm at UConn.
You're a psych major?
That's right. I am a psych major.
How do you use that in producing?
Well,
you psych them out when they come in. They bring you a song.
No.
They give you a song. You read over the lyrics and you go, "Oh, you have some unresolved issues."
I don't know. No, because I don't think. I think if I decide to psychoanalyze every artist I work with, that will only reduce my clientele, if anything. I don't think they want to go for a therapy session every time they record a song, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think that's what they're looking to get out of it.
Yeah, well, if I was a rapper, I would 100% need it.
Okay. Why is that?
For reasons outside of the rap career.
Well, then that's just a psychiatrist. That's not
Hey, you're like a
related to the music.
2-for-1 kind of deal. But speaking of,
right,
I don't want to impose,
Okay.
but we're friends.
Yes.
What do you think? What are my chances?
Of
How do you
being a
think
rapper?
like as a rapper, yeah.
Well, I actually haven't ever heard you spit anything before, Gino.
Just off of vibes alone.
Just off of vibes. Um, I think I'd give you a -7.
A -7?
Yes.
I didn't even give you a scale.
Oh, that's right. That doesn't change my answer though.
If and when I start my career in the rap industry,
Okay.
would you send me a beat?
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry. Did you say absolutely not? Or did you say absolutely and then there was some like noise afterwards?
No. I said absolutely not. Like NOT. Absolutely, and then not. Like not. I'm not going to.
See, your words are saying no, but I get the feeling that you're saying yes.
No, I'm couldn't be more clear. Am not going to send you any of my work. I don't think the hours that I've spent making some of my beats would be worthy enough to send to someone like you to disgrace all that effort put into it. So I'm afraid, even if you pay me, I don't even want to send it to you because I feel like that'd be a waste of my time. Um, so yeah, I couldn't be more clear. I don't know where you're getting these misconstrued conclusions from, but I'm not sending you any beats.
Well, this is a bit of an issue.
Oh, why
I
is that?
thought I thought you'd say yes. I thought you'd go, "Oh my god, you'd be so good."
I don't know what anything that gave you that assumption, but okay.
Uh well, here's the deal. I already made a song with one of your beats.
You did what?
I made a song with the beat that you produced.
And how did you acquire one of my beats? I didn't send it to you. I didn't say anything to you.
Yeah, I know you didn't send it to me, but like I said, I hit it off with your parents. So I called up your dad. I said, "Hey," and
How do you have my dad's phone number?
oh no, I Snapchatted him.
You did what? You Snapchatted my father?
Yeah. I sent a picture. I was like, "Hey, yo," and then he sent me like one of like half of his face, and he just said, "What up, G?" Because he calls me G, because we're tight like that. And
Right.
I told him my predicament, and he logged onto your computer, and he sent me a beat.
But I want to know how you received this information from my father. I didn't even know my dad had a Snapchat. Let alone I don't even know how he would give you that information. So I don't even know how you got that information. Did he just get on my computer? Did you ask for a specific beat? Did he just send you one beat or did he send you a couple? What did he do? How did he send it to you?
No, he sent me the whole catalog, just the whole file.
He sent he sent you all of my beats?
Yes,
He sent you every You're telling me you have all of my beats I've ever made in your possession.
I do. I only used one of them so far.
Gino, I'm gonna need you to delete that right now. I'm gonna need you to delete the song. I need you to delete the beats, and I need you to show me video proof that you're doing it. Or else I will kind of have to go over and sue you.
Okay, well, that's not gonna happen. I don't know how you sue somebody because I'm gonna give you so much clout.
By you associating yourself and your rap career with my music talent and skills, you are going to slowly ruin my career. So I don't think you would be giving me any kind of clout if I'm being completely
I'm gonna
honest.
open I'm gonna open up the music video and it's just right on the top. It's just gonna big bold letters. It's gonna say produced by Silver and then your address.
Wait, why are you gonna put my address?
Yeah, well, I want them to know it's you. It's gonna say right underneath say your address and then your social security number right small in the corner. I
So
don't
you're
want
just
any confusion.
but you're just going to have them steal my identity rather than giving me any kind of clout that is going to do worse than better.
It's going to make your career, and I think you're going to love it.
Gino, I want you to not go forward with this. I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to go over there and take it off my computer myself if you don't. I don't approve that you're using my beats, and I still don't know how you achieved that with my father. I'm still stuck on the fact he has a Snapchat.
Yeah, we got a streak going.
You have a streak with my dad.
Yeah. 154 days. 154 days. Non-stop.
You had a streak with my dad before we went on quarantine. And what surprises me more is that you started the streak after you met him. So you spent months talking to him to then get his Snapchat. And then start a streak.
That's part of the reason I couldn't make it to UConn all those times. We were kicking it. Regardless, you are going to love this song, and it's going to make your career. Trust me.
What song?
The music video I'm about to play.
Music
Your beat.
On my beat? No,
Your beat.
No, Gino, I do not approve of this. I will not let you use this beat. Do not use this beat.
The music
I
video.
will come there and take it. Do not show the video. Do not play it. I swear to God.
Roll it.
Yeah, Toyota trucks and I have a lot in common. We're tough, good looking,
Hi, Ray.
and real easy to start.
I like this silver.
4x2s, 4x4s, take your pick. Because incentives to dealers on selected trucks and cargo vans could save you big bucks.
Tons of storage, contraband, burning oil, Taliban, automatic, no clutch, pushing 80 down the hutch. Made in Japan, no you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki. Made in Japan, no you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki. Yo, this one goes out to everyone driving they RAV4s on their commute. You the real heroes. Yeah. This one's for you. 4-wheel drive, automatic transmission. It's a practical decision and a mission. I need a prescription, hey. This car is my addiction. Down on your knees and pray to the RAV4 religion. Made in Japan. No, you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki. Made in Japan. No, you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki. Oh, not to mention the car has these really cool cup holders. They adjust so any size drink will fit in it. It's fantastic. Oh, I also have these Febreze things. I just put them in the vent. The car smells so good. It's also got this weird rattle, but it's not a big deal. I just try to ignore it most of the time. Made in Japan. No, you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki. Made in Japan. No, you can't stop me. This car is the bomb. Call me Nagasaki.
Like me, Toyota trucks are terrific performers. Hard, strong. Four for twos, 4x4s.
So, what do you think? Not
Gino?
-7 anymore, huh?
That is truly the worst piece of music I've ever seen in my entire life. You have disgracefully done me wrong with this music video and using my beat inappropriately. I did not approve of you using it. I will sue you for copyright infringement, and I will personally go over there and I will take it off your computer. If you do not follow this, I will get a lawyer and I will sue you. And if you dare continue to use any of my possession art, I will go over
We're out
there
of
and I will
time.
personally kill you.
Ruben.
Do not dare use any of my music. I will go over there and I will kill you. Do not use it. I will sue you
Thank
for copyright
you.
infringement. Fuck you, Gino.